If you had to explain about PMR to an MBBS student in a couple of lines, what would that explanation be?
The treatment saves lives, but rehabilitation actually gives that life back.
Tell me the cons about this branch.
Those से ज़्यादा cons है. It's not like
मुझे
everything.
सारे cons बताओ. Corporates तो क्या करते हैं? They are basically not hiring a PMR and उसकी जगह दो फिजियोथेरेपिस्ट हायर कर लेते हैं, उनके लिए काम हो जाता है.
Physiotherapist अगर proper solution दे ही पाते, then why would that branch at the end of the day even exist? The branch exists because there is a need of it.
Do you think AI is ever going to affect this branch?
AI can only aid into that branch, can never replace the PM&R doctor because
When you were JR1, what were your duty hours? कितने घंटे आप काम करते थे एक साथ?
JRship was difficult. There were duties extending up to 16-18 hours.
What is the salary structure of a PMR specialist? Like during JRship, 10 years down the line and 20 years down the line. Hey guys, welcome to the Nachiket Bhatia Show. Today, we are going to talk about a branch which has the least amount of information on the whole internet. Physical Medicine and Rehabilitation. In this episode, we have talked about everything, the basic pros and cons, the salary, yes, the most important question of a podcast, the salary, how you can set up your own private practice, how you can scale up your practice. And trust me guys, when I say the guest today, he's just 36 years old and he is the head of the department at Indian Spinal Center in Vasant Kunj. That's a huge achievement. So let's put our hands together and let's welcome a very gentle, jolly man. He is the HOD at Indian Spinal Center. He is a researcher. He's an entrepreneur. He serves on a board of a couple of startups as well. And he has managed his finances very well. So we're going to talk about financial literacy with him. But the most important thing, he's going to give us everything about PM&R. Let's put our hands together and let's welcome Dr. Rachit Gulati. Welcome, Dr. Rachit, to the Nachiket Bhatia Show.
Thank you so much, Dr. Nachiket. Nice to be here.
Thank you so much, boss, for taking out time for this. I think PMR ki, it's in great demand and a branch which has very less knowledge
Absolutely.
on the whole internet. मतलब मेरी भी knowledge बहुत कम है इस branch को लेके, so it's going to be a very learning experience for me also. But before we get into that, I would like to know about your journey. Where do you come from? When did you start thinking कि अब मुझे doctor बनना चाहिए? And the whole process.
Absolutely. So first of all, thank you, Dr. Nachiket, for having me here. When it comes to when did I decide to become a doctor, my journey, I come from a fairly humble, grounded background. There was no I always knew kind of a moment. कोई 3 Idiots वाली स्टोरी नहीं थी कि मेरा बच्चा डॉक्टर ही बनेगा वाली स्टोरी. माई ग्रेट ग्रैंडफादर माइग्रेटेड फ्रॉम द Punjab, which is in Pakistan today, in 1947, and he was a Hakim. So I come from a family of doctors. There are many doctors in the generations to follow. My dad also gave a CPMT exam. Unfortunately, couldn't clear it. So a lot of people say it was always in the blood, but family ki taraf se there was never any pressure. There was never any this kind of a thing कि doctor बनना ही बनना है. But by 6th or 7th, I realized that I'm probably good at studies. Sports तो छोड़ ही दो, I was horrible at it. Dance, music, art and craft तो दूर की बात है. So studies was one thing which I was doing well. And at that point of time, the career options weren't that great. आपकी maths अच्छी है तो आप engineer बन जाते हो. If you're good at science, you become a doctor. That's pretty much it. So I was more into science, less into maths. So decided to become a doctor. But while I was preparing for my PMT during class 11th and 12th, you fairly gain a little bit of maturity during the part of your late teens, your 16s and 70s when you're doing 11th and 12th. And there were some familial circumstances which required encounters in the hospital and with the doctors. There I realized the fact that doctors are the people that you meet on your worst days, not on your best days. It is a field which goes much beyond titles and salaries, which were a big thing back then. So fame, respect, and all those things were attached to this field. That's why I decided to give a PMT exam, got selected in it. I'm from Jaipur, Rajasthan, basically, so got SMS Medical College in Jaipur itself. So it was like a done deal for me. Ghar ka ghar mein, you get a very good college, which is a pretty renowned college in the
True,
country. It is in
true.
your same city, it is in your same state. So you cannot ask for anything more. Got into MBBS and then did it.
उसके बाद tell me about वैसे SMS में क्या अच्छा है? I mean, it's a very renowned college. So what would you
Absolutely.
say is the USP of that college?
So the biggest USP of that college is that after civil hospital in Ahmedabad, that is one of the biggest hospitals in the country, there are about 7 hospitals attached to a single medical college. So they have a separate hospital for pediatrics, they have a separate hospital for gynecology. SMS serves as a referral center for all over Rajasthan. So cases come from Rajasthan and the western parts of Haryana, Punjab as well. So there are a lot of cases coming to SMS, lots of learned professors over there. The overall environment around there when it comes to academics, when it comes to your clinical skills, clinical knowledge is huge. So that makes SMS one of the big medical colleges in a state of Rajasthan where the competition is pretty tough because a lot of students also flock in at Kota had to do their PMT. So a lot of people give the Rajasthan PMT exam. तो उसमें एक अच्छे मेडिकल कॉलेज मिल जाना इज़ अ ग्रेट डील. So I was fairly lucky and fairly fortunate to get into SMS Medical College and do my MBBS, which serves as a baseline for everything that you do future in your career.
Tell me, I think the most important question is why PMR? I'm
Yeah.
sure उस time पे you must be getting medicine or surgery. I mean, at that time, medicine surgery were the craze. It is still today the evergreen branches. But choosing a branch like PMR, I mean, I'm sure it must be a very risky step.
It is one such step that shaped my future, shaped my career for sure. But I'll be honest, I had jitters. It was a risk to take. There was a lot of backlash from the friends, from the family, and a lot of noise around you. वो ब्रांच लेने के बाद भी आती रही कि कहाँ घुस गए हो, क्या ले रहे हो, and all that. As you rightly pointed out at the start, a lot of people don't know about the branch. So बहुत कुछ उस समय आया था. So the fact is, yes, I was also इंटरेस्टेड इन द कन्वेंशनल ब्रांचेस क्योंकि ड्यूरिंग द MBBS वही पढ़ी थी, उसके बारे में ही पता था. आई स्टिल रिमेंबर ड्यूरिंग माई ऑन द फर्स्ट डे ऑफ माई इंटर्नशिप. सो in our medical education, on the first day of your internship you get a schedule of your internship कि कितने दिन पोस्टिंग लगेगी किस ब्रांच में. So there were 15 days posting in PMR and I was like, postmortem report में 15 days. PMR वही सुना था in forensic science, forensic medicine. So you were like, what is PMR at the end of the day? Then someone corrected कि physical medicine and rehabilitation. Then I was like, वो क्या भला है, कभी सुना ही नहीं था. Neurosurgery, cardiology, radiology, even radiotherapy, ophthalmology, etc. Everything we knew at the end of the day. PMR is one such thing you were actually not even aware. And I come from SMS, which is like the Makkah of physical medicine and rehabilitation, because the rehabilitation department was set up there by Dr. P.K. Sethi, who basically discovered the Jaipur limb, the Jaipur leg and the Jaipur foot. So it is the Makkah of PMR, the rehabilitation and research center over there. RRC is a 90-bedded center within itself. That's a separate tower in SMS hospital. And it is one of the most famous places to learn PMR from, to get trained in PMR. Started by Dr. Sethi, then Dr. Mathur, Dr. Joshi took over and scaled it to heights, unimaginable heights. It was during my internship when I actually was going through the internship, learning about each and every branch, and I was always a kind of a curious person, learning about each branch because I didn't know what I have to do. So while I was kind of doing my own research, I was also looking at a lot of branches and looking at the gaps over there. So I found out, while we are doing good at acute care, while we are saving a lot of lives, what about the lives that are getting saved? Are we actually adding life to those years that we have saved through the acute care or not? So when eventually the 15-day posting in rehabilitation happened, I saw rehabilitation right in action over there, how coordinated the teams were, how a medical rehabilitation specialist or a rehabilitation doctor is guiding the whole team over there, how a coordination therapy is happening, multidisciplinary teams build up is happening over there, the outcome tracking is happening, the goal planning is happening, and how slowly and gradually we see patients improving. Now imagine there is a person who has had stroke and one side is weak. Saving life is one thing, but making them walk is something that gives immense joy. So when I saw that part, I got interested in that branch. But to be honest, it wasn't a plan A, because again itna kuch bhi nahi pata tha. It was always a plan B and plan C. But eventually when I got into the branch, तब भी एक बार को सोचा था यार ट्राई करते हैं, देखते हैं how is it. So I would say, and I often joke it in front of a lot of individuals, it was my arranged marriage with PMR. But after the arranged marriage, it was kind of love at first sight. When I experienced the branch right from the word go, I thought this is my calling, this is where I want to be, and this is where I want to work. Even if it is a lesser known branch, even it has so many things attached to it, so many apprehensions attached to it, this is where I want to go.
Were your family supportive on this thing?
When you are selecting your branch, there's a lot of noise around you. Your family has an idea of, say, a neurologist uncle who is earning crores around your place, or a gali wale medicine uncle who have so many patients around you, your doctor uncle to say the least, or an orthopedician they go to when they have their own pains. So family always try to take you to those branches where they have been regularly visiting. And PMR doctors are so less, and that too even lesser in the private practice, that the family doesn't even know about PMR. Then you have your better halves, your relationship partners, your girlfriends, your boyfriends who are planning कि तू gynecology कर लेना, मैं pediatrics कर लूँगा, मिलके hospital खोलेंगे. So the business planning happening during your internship and final year days. So obviously then there are your friends who have dreams of becoming a cardiac surgeon, like say डॉक्टर त्रेहन को हमने देखा है, हमें तो नेक्स्ट मेदांता खोलना है, या डॉक्टर शेट्टी को हमने देखा है तो हम नेक्स्ट नारायणा खोलेंगे. So you romanticize medicine a lot. So obviously see, family had its own set of apprehensions कि एक ऐसी ब्रांच में बच्चा घुस रहा है which we are not aware about. The kid himself, kid I won't say, I was in my mid 20s, but yeah, I was just a bachelor, not a postgraduate also. A graduation kara hua student or a kid is getting into such branch which he himself doesn't know much about. We don't know, hardly know any doctors around, how they are doing, how much money they are earning. Is it a sustainable branch financially, emotionally? Will he get frustrated in that branch? Because we keep hearing a lot of news around frustration leading to a lot of mishaps for the doctors as well. So I won't say family was entirely supportive or happy about it, but but looking at my excitement towards the branch, looking at my bent of mind that instead of just saving lives, I want to add something to those lives as well, they allowed me to take a plunge into it. Today, I wish, I hope, I pray they are happy with me. They are proud of me, what I am doing, what I plan to do ahead for PMR, and I hope they are happy now.
Most of the doctors are not good at planning. और उसी प्रॉब्लम को सॉल्व करने के लिए I have created this planner. Plan your day, plan your goals and execute them on a daily basis. ये मत सोचो कि रैंक 1 आनी है. ये सोचो कि आज के दिन पे मुझे कितने टेस्ट देने हैं, मुझे कितने MCQ मार्क करने हैं और मुझे कितनी वीडियोस देखनी है. रैंक 1 तभी पॉसिबल है जब 365 दिन आप अपने गोल्स अचीव कर पाओ. इसको एक बार यूज करके देखो and give me your honest feedback. Is it really that helpful? I'm sure they must be.
Yeah.
If you had to explain about PMR to an MBBS student in a couple of lines, what would that explanation be?
In a couple of lines, I would say that the treatment saves lives, but rehabilitation actually gives that life back. There is no use of spine surgery after a spinal cord injury if that patient is not able to ambulate himself or herself independently or is dependent on every task. There is no use of saving a stroke patient if that stroke patient cannot work in the future and become a burden for his or her family, society, and country as a whole. There is no use of dealing with a chronic pain patient or doing a total knee replacement of that patient if that patient is unable to sustain or do his activities of daily living independently. So PMR makes that happen. Once your medical treatment is over, or often alongside or even preceding that medical treatment, there's a concept of prehabilitation nowadays as well, where even before the medical or surgical treatment happens, the rehabilitation team takes over, make sure that the outcomes of the surgeries are very good, and then the patient actually goes back and becomes as functionally productive as possible. Because our numbers is too small, there are hardly 600 to 700 PM&R specialists practicing in the country. That is lower than the tigers in the country at the end of the
It should
day.
be safe
So,
PMRs.
so save PMRs. PMRs are endangered species in the country at the end of the day. There are hardly 600 to 700 in the whole country. And उसमें से भी अगर मैं बोलूँ about 80% of them are working in the government hospitals. तो 20%, 10 to 20% सारे corporate के अंदर रह जाते हैं. जब demand and supply is so huge, then at the end of the day corporate को अपना center तो चलाना ही चलाना है. Post surgery कुछ तो करना पड़ेगा. अगर corporate के पास stroke का patient आ गया and they have managed to save the life of the patient, उनको कुछ तो करना पड़ेगा. So as a stopgap arrangement, they have the physiotherapists who are doing that. But let me tell you, Dr. Nachiket, the era is changing, the trends are changing. In last 5 years, I have seen a huge change in trends where corporates are trusting a PM&R specialist to come and take over their rehabilitation department, and those rehabilitation departments are transformed to an extent which is unimaginable. I come from Indian Spinal Injury Center, Vasant Kunj. The change has been transformational since there has been a PM&R specialist. Even when I talk about business, the revenues have almost doubled. The patient retention rates have improved. The NRS scales is getting better and better from the patient side, and as you see that the patients are more and more engaged, the patient acquisition cost or the CAC comes down for the hospital. So even on the business side of things, it is absolutely viable because it is a long term treatment. So to get a doctor run rehabilitation department into your corporate hospital will act as a feather on your crown.
You're the head of the department there, right?
Yes.
At just the age of 36. I think a phenomenal growth. Tell me your career journey after doing your MD.
After doing my MD as a part of my so I did my MD from the very famous RG Medical College, Kolkata. It is a very good college, great place to learn, very good professors, very good teachers over there, excellent hands-on over there, too many patients, so great place to learn. After doing my MD over there, as a part of my post PG bond, I was posted in a small district town in the foothills of Himalayas in North Bengal called Jalpaiguri. Beautiful city, beautiful place to be, awesome people over there. So I had a chance to create the PMR department in a district hospital. So that was the first PMR department that was created in a district hospital at that point of time. And I was the head of PHCs and CHCs all around. So I could
तो आप
see
सिर्फ हेड बन के चल रहे हो.
I was the only one, so obviously although I was a senior resident, but I was a head क्योंकि मेरे ऊपर कोई था नहीं वहाँ पे. So over there I had to oversee the primary health centers, community health centers. So I had a chance to see rehabilitation scenario in a community. So community based rehabilitation is something I learned over there. I see things ground up over there. After passing 1 year over there, I wanted my skills to enhance. I wanted to do a lot more research, wanted to learn academics. Whatever I've learned during my PG, I should learn more, I should apply more. So luckily I got a chance to do my senior residency in AIMS Bhopal. AIMS Bhopal was one of the turning points in my career where I could actually see the systems working over there. So We had a proper rehabilitation department over there, with all the infrastructure, all the manpower over there. I could learn what specific people do over there, how the systems are working, how the multidisciplinary team coordination is there. I could do a lot of research over there. So AIMS is the pinnacle. It is the Institute of National Importance, and it is like a center where all the cases which are not being able to managed anywhere come to AIMS. So a lot of complex cases are over there. So obviously the professors over there are very learned. So apart from the clinical skills and knowledge, I could learn soft skills from them: the communication, the empathy, the team building, the leadership, so on and so forth. I could learn all this at AIMS. After that, there were some startups where I joined as a medical director. I built and scaled them. One of them was Saul Orthocare in New Delhi. We started from one clinic, made it into 10 clinics. It was largely around musculoskeletal and rheumatological rehabilitation. We were stuck on pain and everything. Then I went to Bangalore for a couple of years. There I took over as a medical director and a lead consultant, physical medicine and rehabilitation, at a startup called Recoup Health. They had three big centers in Bangalore where we are dealing with rehabilitation along with the indoor facility as well. So they had a hospital and two very good clinics around in Bangalore. After working over there and after gaining all my expertise into the world of startups, raising money, learning the financial literacy over there, how a startup functions, how to look at the marketing, sales, financial side of it, how to develop my those skills as a leader, which completed me as a whole. Then I took over as the head of the department at Indian Spinal Injury Center, and I'm thankful to the management of Indian Spinal Injury Center for entrusting me with such a big responsibility. Department of Rehabilitation at ISIC is one of the biggest departments in Asia. I'm not talking about India at the end of the day. And management is extremely supportive of rehabilitation. ISIC has a history where rehabilitation serves as the cornerstone of their history. So at ISIC, taking over rehabilitation, I've got huge support from the management, and things are moving great at ISIC as well.
So I think you're the best person to ask this because you have lived that journey. What is the, and this is the most important question of our podcast, what is the salary structure of a PMR specialist? Like during SRship, 10 years down the line and 20 years down the line.
This is one of the most important questions that your audience wants to hear. See, Dr. Nachiket, I'll be honest, salary at the start is not that great. You start humbly. So even when I went to Jalpaiguri to serve my bond, my salary was hardly 40-50,000 rupees, which is just not enough. And at the ground level, we know at the end of the day, doctors ki salary utni hoti hai, and it's across the branches. It's just slowly and gradually that you gain that trust. It slowly and gradually you gain that professional expertise to earn
That's okay.
more
10
and
years
more.
down the line, क्या salary रहती है?
10 years down the line, if you see, the salary can go up to 2 lakhs, 1.5 to 2 lakhs, based on how your professional expertise is there. Again, if you are stuck in a government system, तो वहाँ पे अपना pay grade ही चलता है और उसके according चीज़ जाएगी, which is also not that great, I'll be honest. If you are able to venture into your own center, start building your own center, which obviously won't be 5-10 years down the line, it is going to take about 20 years, then obviously ceiling is the limit. Then obviously there is no ceiling कि आप कहाँ तक जा सकते हो. If you can build up a good center, then your salary becomes huge. But corporate में right now the demand and supply gap is huge. Demand is increasing, supply is less, so the salaries are changing. I'll be very honest, in past few years salary system is getting better. It is coming at par with other branches. It is going good. If you venture into your own center and if you are able to build that, then it's your practice.
Like when you were JR1, I'm sure there must be JR2 and JR3 over there.
Yes.
So like, what were your duty hours? कितने घंटे आप काम करते थे एक साथ?
JRship was difficult. JRship was tough. There were duties extending up to 16-18 hours. The OPD numbers were rising, so we had to do some days 200-300 patients all alone, with an OPD of about 1,000 reaching in the department. So sometimes the OPD was happening till 6 p.m. and 7 p.m. in the evening, with no lunches and everything. Then you had to go all through the hospital looking at the referrals that have come from the various branches, to go there, give your advice, and then coordinate with the therapist team and making sure the therapists are going there and giving it to the patient. Then there were night calls as well. The patients were admitted under the rehab department, so there were all sorts of night calls that were happening. सुबह में notes सुबह तक notes complete करके रखना, because there will be rounds from the professors. So it was absolutely grueling, and being a single seat, it wasn't easy at all during the post graduation days. Luckily it has come to 3 now, but at my point of time, single seat was actually very, very
So like, did you
overwhelming.
get any off in the week, or it was like 365 days working?
It was difficult to get an off. We had to sneak out somewhere somehow to get an off. एक आध घंटे के लिए अगर कुछ मिल जाए, 2 4 5 घंटे की नींद मिल जाए. It wasn't easy to get an off at that point of time. Things were difficult, being a single seat, and that gives a lot of responsibility as well. Today, when I look back, but at that point of time, things were not at all easy. It was tough.
Madam, it's so hard to even imagine this happening, that you're working for, like, you were working 22 hours a day.
Yes, but that's the grind a lot of postgraduates go through. An infrastructure that we all know how is it in the government hospitals, how the washrooms are, how the eating facilities or the water facilities are over there. There were days when we had to break the normal saline and drink that, because that's the pure water that we were getting. नलके में पानी इतना प्योर नहीं होता था. There were news that people were getting diarrhea and infections out of it. So saline का पानी पी पी के भी कभी कभार टाइम निकाला है. एक 10 मिनट के लिए बाहर जाके कुछ खा के फटाफट आना है, and then we had to work. So this is regular that a lot of people go through in the country. The condition of government hospitals is something that is well evident. A lot of people know about what facilities the junior doctors are getting. And things should improve at the end of the day. The basic infrastructure is very much important for the doctors, because these doctors are going to become those people who are going to save your lives someday. So I'm speaking this for all the branches, not only PM&R at the end of the day, that we need to make sure that the infrastructure or the basic requirements now here in India, the postgraduate student doesn't want very fancy kind of requirements, and it is very important at the end of the day कि एक फिक्स्ड वर्किंग आवर्स होने चाहिए JR के लिए. The basic human rights have to be there for the junior residents. They are working very hard. At the end of the day, सारी की सारी जो responsibility है, जो ढांचा है पूरा का पूरा, वो टिका हुआ है junior residents के ही young कंधों पर. So it is very important. They should be compensated well, and the basic requirements are fulfilled. Compensation is something also which is very important. Realize this thing, that when you are a postgraduate student, you are already a doctor. A lot of people don't enter post graduation just into their 20s. Some enter into their 30s as well. Some of them are married, some of them have kids, and having a compensation is just not enough for a lot of people. And then there are added pressures of working, and then people go on and take the drastic steps which we know about. So the basic infrastructure, basic work facilities, basic timings for the staff, and appropriate compensation is paramount to make sure that the residents coming out of India is good and there is no brain drain. Still we see a lot of people going to UK giving PLAB, or going to US giving the USMLE. Why they are doing? In fact, the education in India is a lot better. People are doing it for better work opportunities and better compensation. If that's given, people won't move out also.
Boss, this branch, does it have super specialty as well?
Not currently. There is no DM course in PM&R, so PM&R becomes a terminal branch, much like a lot of other branch. Good thing and a bad thing. Good thing because you don't have a pressure to do anymore. You have a limited thing. After 3 years, you have an early settlement. So just after MBBS, you spend 3 years in PM&R and you have a settlement, and you have an opportunity to become a consultant and an assistant professor. But a lot of people do fellowships. Again, as I pointed out, there are
Give me some good fellowships on this.
good fellowships in PM&R includes a fellowship in pain medicine, fellowships in neuro rehabilitation, fellowships in pediatric rehabilitation, diabetic foot rehabilitation, which is very important thing, cardiopulmonary rehabilitation, rheumatology, preventive physiatry fellowship, and rehabilitation surgery fellowships. These 7-8 fellowships are being done in India.
Boss, give me the top institutes for PMI in India, like to basically for MD and DNB. Like top 5 for MD and top 5 for DNB.
Of course, AIMS is going to be at the top when I talk
Remove
about.
central institutes. वो तो
Okay.
पता है best है.
Okay, so remove central institutes, SMS is a very good place to learn PM&R. KGMC Lucknow is a good place to learn PM&R from. All India Institute of PMR, which is in Mumbai, is a good place where PM&R happens. Kolkata, both the institutes, IPG, MER and RGKar are good places to learn PM&R. And Patna is a good place as well.
पट्टा में क्या?
Patna Medical College.
PMCH, okay.
PMCH.
What about DNB?
For DNB, Kokilaben Dhirubhai Ambani is a very good place to learn PM&R. Swami Vivekanand National Institute of Rehabilitation, which is in Cuttack, Odisha, is one of the very good places where PM&R surgeries are done. NILD, National Institute of Locomotor Disability, which was called NIOH earlier in Kolkata, is a good place to do DNB.
Do you think AI is ever going to affect this branch?
My professor used to always say rehabilitation is not just science, it is a philosophy. To re-able and resettle a person requires a lot of human touch. And when it comes to a branch like PMR, which is totally an end-to-end, head-to-toe kind of a thing, AI can only aid into that branch, can never replace the PM&R doctor because of the sheer amount of human touch that is required over there. I use AI a lot. A lot of people use AI. AI is a good aid into the PM&R branch. Predictive analysis, looking at the outcomes, monitoring, gait analysis, so on and so forth can be done by AI beautifully. Remote monitoring of the patient can be done through technology and AI beautifully. But at the end of the day, it requires a human touch because it is a human branch. And then there are systems thinking as well. There are a lot of team coordination that is required as well. Physio, occupational therapist, so on and so forth. That can only be done through human, and AI bot won't be able to do that. So AI cannot replace a PM&R doctor at least. This is one branch that would be untouched by AI.
Boss, you're very good with your finances as well. You've done really well in a very young age. So what would be your advice, financial advice to young doctors? How they should manage their finances? क्या करना चाहिए उनको?
See, it is very important at the end of the day because doctors start earning late and there's a high ceiling at the end of the day. So, बहुत जरूरी है financial literacy for doctors. Doctors need to start investing at a young age. No matter लाखों नहीं चाहिए invest करने के लिए, start with a few thousands. Go for SIP, go for mutual funds, go for real estate, go for anything that you want to do. Learn about financial literacy and start moving for it. Otherwise, the train will pass away. I see so many doctors at the age of 50 having no idea about financial literacy. It is very important for every doctor to be financially viable. हाँ, अर्निंग लेट होएगी, आगे आगे बढ़ती जाएगी, बट वो आगे बढ़ते बढ़ते इतना आगे ना बढ़ जाए कि आदमी संभाल ही ना पाए. So financial literacy is the key over here, and I want to use your platform to make sure young doctors hear it, that even if you are saving say 5,000 a month, make sure that 5,000 is being compounded to वो 5,000 से 15,000 बनेगा, 15,000 से 1.5 लाख बनेगा, 1.5 लाख से 10 लाख बनेगा, slowly and gradually as you start investing. So investing is very important for young doctors of any field.
Thank you so much, boss. It was a really, enlightening podcast, but it hasn't come to an end. We still have some rapid fire questions for you. So very simple 2 rules. You have to be super spontaneous and super truthful. All right. So one thing you can eat every day without getting bored.
Home cooked food, rajma chawal.
अच्छा राजमा चावल वाले हो, Punjabi proper.
Yes, proper Punjab.
A habit you picked up recently that actually stuck.
Breathing exercises in the morning. It is powerful. It stimulates your vagus nerve and makes you relaxed. So I do a lot of deep breathing exercises in the morning when I get up, and digital detox.
Nice. कब तक फोन नहीं देखते आप?
At least half an hour after I wake up.
बड़ी गंदी आदत है मेरी तो. उठता ही मैं ऐसे हूँ कि फोन पे आ जाता है मेरा. One place in India you can visit again and again.
I'm a beach lover. So
Goa?
maybe Andamans or Goa.
If not a doctor, what would you have been?
Probably a journalist, asking and solving questions and real world problems.
One small thing that instantly makes your day better.
Probably looking at my child after a day full of work. But if you have to see medically, walking up, looking at a patient walk again after a stroke or a spinal cord injury makes a day for me.
Thank you so much, Dr. Rachit, for your time. It was a very great podcast, and trust me when I say this, PMR has grown a lot today because there is somebody like you who has given us the correct information about this branch. And as you have rightly said, this branch needs a lot of people talking about this to reach the right kind of audience.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Dr. Nachiket. Pleasure to be here.
And thank you so much everyone for watching today's podcast. I believe PMR JC branch, I mean, I genuinely did not have the right information, but today we have all got that, the pros, the cons, the correct career path, everything about this branch. You can watch today by listening to Dr. Rachit sir's voice and opinions. So thank you so much. And as always, do not forget to like, share and subscribe. Thank you and all the best.